Good afternoon, everyone. Hello, my dear students. So today I'm going to start with yet another video. I'm continuing with morphology. So today's session we have to discuss about venation, types of leaves, and philotaxy. So slightly I wanted to change the method so that I felt it will be convenient to many of you. Like I'm going to show you the statements in the textbook. Accordingly, we will discuss the topic so that you will not have any doubt when you are reading the textbook. So let us see how we can do it, and I hope this will definitely help you. So let us start with venation. So venation, what does it give? First, the arrangement of veins and veinlets in the lamina of leaf, that is called as a venation. So here you have to know what is the meaning of veins and veinlets. So we will see what are veins and what are actually the veins made up of. Veins are nothing but these are made up of vascular bundles. And therefore, since they are made up of vascular bundles, the primary function of veins is conduction of both water and food material, because they consist of both xylem and phloem. That is primary function. Another function is they also give mechanical strength to the lamina, like a skeleton. They form a skeleton to the lamina. So they help in mechanical strength to lamina. So these are the main functions of the veins. Now how the veins and veinlets are arranged on the lamina, that's what is called as a venation. So here venation is divided into two types: reticulate venation and parallel venation. So first let us see about reticulate venation. In reticulate venation, there will be one main midrib, and this main vein is called as a midrib, and this main vein will further divide to form many secondary veins or lateral veins, and these lateral veins will further divide into fine network. They completely fill the lamina. So this type of venation, where there are three types of veins. The three types of veins we find is the main vein, this is called as a midrib, and midrib branches to form lateral veins, and the lateral veins further divide to form the veinlets. So all these together, mainly veinlets will form a network on the lamina. So it is called as a reticulate venation. And reticulate venation is most common it is commonly found, example, in dicots. Very rarely we find in some monocots also. Very rarely. So the monocot having reticulate venation, this is the exception. Monocot with reticulate venation, smilax and Dioscorea. Why I am mentioning is these two both belong to family Liliaceae. Liliaceae you have within your syllabus. Liliaceae you have. So the smilax and Dioscorea, these two are the exceptions. They are the monocots showing reticulate venation. Now we will see the parallel venation. Parallel venation. In parallel venation, we find, first thing, we don't find any veinlets. So here veinlets are absent. This is the first difference, main difference between reticulate and the parallel venation. Here veinlets are absent. So if veinlets are absent, we have only a midrib and divided into lateral veins. And these lateral veins, they are parallelly arranged. That's why it is called as a parallel venation. Example of parallel venation, generally monocots. Generally monocots. Rarely some dicots they can show parallel venation. Like one example, just for the example I'll give you, colophyllum. So otherwise NCERT does not give any examples. So just for the information, I am giving you the examples. NCERT point of view, you have to know only the main differences between reticulate and the parallel venation. Okay, that is about the venation. So next we are going to consider the next topic, that is types of leaves. Okay, now let us continue with the types of leaves. We have two types of leaves: simple leaves, compound leaves. Now a leaf is said to be simple. Be very clear with the whatever words given. That's why my main intention is, when you read the textbook and listen to the explanation, should not have any confusion. So leaf is a simple leaf means when its lamina is entire or when incised. The incisions do not touch the midrib. And when the incision of the lamina reach up to the midrib, breaking it into number of leaflets, we call it as a compound leaf. Okay, now let us see simple. So simple leaves, how are they defining? Leaf is, the leaf lamina can be entire or incised. Incised is, we can divide as per the explanation. Leaf lamina say entire. Entire is completely the smooth margin. This type of smooth margin, this is called as an entire. Incised, incisions means the small lobes, this way, the small lobes which are present, these are called as incisions. They are called as incisions. So incisions here, they are not coming up to the midrib. Incisions do not reach the midrib. Then it is called as a simple leaf. And these incisions, based on this, again, there are two types of simple leaves. These incisions, you can call them as lobes also. So based on this, they are of two types: pinnately lobed leaves, and palmately lobed leaves, pinnately and palmately lobed leaves. So pinnately lobed leaves is like these incisions present on either side of the midrib. When they are present like this on either side of the midrib, it is called as a pinnately lobed. Like for example, we find this in case of mustard, that is pinnately lobed leaf, or radish, that's mustard, radish, belonging to family Cruciferae or Brassicaceae. They show this type of leaves. Palmately lobed leaves are those where the incisions will be spread out like the fingers of a palm. In different directions, the incisions are spread out, and each lobe will receive one main vein or one midrib. Each lobe will receive. This type of leaf is called as a palmately lobed leaf. Like for example, we find in cucurbita. So these are the types of simple, entire and incised. Incised means lobed. Lobed again, pinnately lobed, palmately lobed. Entire leaf, almost all, many examples you can give. Like for example, in case of mango or hibiscus, all this come under simple and entire leaves. Now let us see the compound leaves. What are compound leaves? So compound leaves are those where the lamina, the incisions, so we'll just read here what is given. When the incisions of the lamina reach up to the midrib, breaking it into the number of leaflets, that is called as a compound leaf. So here we find this is the midrib, and these incisions which are coming up to, not up to the midrib, but here they will reach up to the midrib, and they divide the lamina completely into small parts. So this will look like this, the small leaflets, small leaves. These small leaves are called as leaflets, and the midrib here is forming the stalk of the leaf, and this midrib which is forming the stalk of the leaf, this is called as a rachis. So there will be a rachis formed and leaflets are formed, divided into number of leaflets, that is called as then we call it as a compound leaf. Now A bud is present in the axil of petiole in both simple and compound leaf, but not in the axil of leaflets of the compound leaf. Now let us see this point. Suppose we take a simple leaf. We take a simple leaf. This is a simple leaf and this is the axil. Earlier my videos I told you what is axil and axillary bud. This is an axil. So here there will be a bud. This is called as axillary bud. It is called as axillary bud. This is in case of simple leaf. Suppose we take a compound leaf like this. If we are taking a compound leaf, this is a attachment of compound leaf. This is how it will be attached, and these are the each leaflets. So here we don't find any bud in this axil. Here we don't find any bud, but here in the axil of complete leaf, this is the stalk of the leaf. Between the stalk and the stem, here there will be axillary buds. So axillary bud will be present in the axil of leaf but not in the axil of leaflet. That is one major difference between a simple leaf and a compound leaf. So this even leaflet also, a leaflet can also have a small stalk. This is how the leaflet can be present. It can be present with a such small stalk also. But in the axil of this stalk, we can, this will be the axil. In the axil of the stalk, we don't find any bud. But the bud will be present here. This is the axil of, this is the complete leaf. So that is the difference between a simple leaf and compound leaf. Now let us see the types of compound leaves. There are two main types of compound leaves are given. So let us see the types of compound. Okay, now we will continue with the types of compound leaves. So compound leaf can be divided as, a compound leaf is divided as two types. One is called as a pinnate compound leaves and another is palmate compound leaves. Pinnate and palmate. Let us understand the meaning of this with example. So first we will see a pinnate compound leaf. So in a pinnate compound leaf, we find number of leaflets are present on a common axis called rachis, and which represents the midrib of the leaf as in neem. Just now I told you the midrib of the simple leaf is converted to rachis of the compound leaf. So in pinnate we find this is the main midrib. So this is the midrib which is forming a rachis, and here many leaflets will be formed on either side. On either side of rachis you find many leaflets. So a rachis and the leaflets will be present in a compound leaf, and that leaf, that is that compound leaf, that is called as a pinnately compound leaf. So pinnate means the main feature of pinnate compound leaf is there is a rachis present, and this will be the stalk of the leaf, that is called as a petiole, and this one is the leaflet. That is pinnate compound leaf. Like for example of pinnate compound leaf is neem. Neem, many examples we have for pinnate compound leaves. Now palmate compound leaf. Palmate already, palmate lobed leaf we discussed. Palmate lobed leaf means when lobes are spread out like a fingers of a palm. That is called as a palmately lobed leaf. So here palmate compound leaf is first important feature, there is no rachis present. No rachis present. That means rachis is absent here. So we will just look into how it is given in the textbook. Let us read how it is given. So in palmately compound leaves, the leaflets are arranged, attached at a common point, that is at the tip of the petiole, as in silk cotton. So here we find in palmately compound leaf, this is the petiole, And at the tip of the petiole, we find many leaflets. At the tip itself, we find many such leaflets will be present. And this will be at the tip of the petiole. This is the petiole. And here no rachis is present. And how do we identify? It is looking like a, say it is looking like the normal simple leaf. We have whorled philotaxy also in a leaf, simple leaf. But how do we identify it is a compound leaf? Based on the presence of axillary bud. So here axillary bud will be present at this point, not at the junction of the stalk of the leaflet and the petiole, but it will be present. The petiole will be attached to the stem, and at this point, at this angle, there will be axillary bud present. With that, we can identify that it is a compound leaf, not showing whorled philotaxy. Okay, this is the, and example here you will take silk cotton. For the information, if you want the silk cotton, its scientific name of silk cotton is Bombax seba. That is the scientific name of silk cotton. I hope neem also many of you know, Aza directa indica. For neem, the scientific name will be Aza directa indica. This is the scientific name of the leaf, neem. Okay. Now next we are left with the next topic, that is philotaxy. So let us complete philotaxy. Now we are going to start with philotaxy. So we were going to see the definition of philotaxy and meaning, different types of philotaxy, and one or two questions related to philotaxy. Very, very simple and common questions we can get related to philotaxy. Okay, so now let us read first what is philotaxy. It is the pattern of arrangement of leaves on the stem or branches. How leaves are arranged on the stem or branches. So first of all, very important feature is it is a genetic character, genetically decided character. It will be specific for one particular species. It is a genetic character specific for one species. It may vary from one species to the other. You know, in a family there can be many species. So it can vary from one species to the other. It is specific for one particular species. And it is of three different types: alternate, opposite, and whorled philotaxy. So we will see first one by one. Let us see first alternate philotaxy. So in alternate philotaxy, alternate type of philotaxy, single leaf arises at each node in alternate manner, as in China rose, mustard, and sunflower. So how do we understand this? Single leaf arises at each node. So at one node, here only one leaf will be formed. Similarly, another node and one leaf. In this way, one node, only one leaf will be formed. So, you know, wherever the leaf is arising, this point, this will be called as a node. This point, wherever the leaf is arising, we call it as a node. So, one leaf will arise from one node only, or one node will have only one leaf. That is called as a alternate philotaxy. Example of alternate philotaxy: China rose, that is hibiscus. Hibiscus is a scientific name, hibiscus. And mustard and sunflower. Mustard is brassica species, and sunflower is Helianthus annuus. This is the sunflower. So in all this we find alternate philotaxy. Okay, now next type is called as a opposite philotaxy. This is alternate, and next we will see opposite philotaxy. Opposite. So what happens here in opposite philotaxy? Let us read first. So as I told you, this will be very easy for you to study, students. Keep reading the textbook, keep this in beside, and easily you will be able to follow the textbook, because first time when you study, you have to read the textbook. Once you are thorough with the meanings of textbook, you can easily memorize all the points. Okay, so let us see. In opposite type, a pair of leaves arise. In opposite type, pair of leaves arise at each node and lie opposite to each other, as in Calotropis and guava plant. So here pair of leaves will arise. So let us see how we'll show here pair of leaves. So one node you find two leaves arising from one point to one node, two leaves will be formed. Of course types are there, but we will not consider with the types, only the meanings we will see. So two leaves are present at one node. So this type of philotaxy, this is called as a opposite philotaxy. Like for example, the example of opposite philotaxy, Calotropis and guava. Calotropis and guava. These are the opposite philotaxy. So here one node will have two leaves, and in alternate philotaxy one node will have only one leaf. Now let's see the third type, that is called as a whorled philotaxy. Whorled philotaxy. So in case of whorled philotaxy, what happens? Let us first read what is given. Whorled philotaxy. If more than two leaves arise at a node and form a whorl, it is called whorled philotaxy. Form a whorl means a circle. A circle will be formed. So in this way, suppose more than two leaves. So this is one node. Here one leaf, another leaf, a third leaf also will be formed. Sometimes even more than that. Many leaves. Similarly in this place, two leaves and more than that. So when more than two leaves are present, that is called as a whorled philotaxy. Like for example given, Alstonia. If you count the number of leaves in Alstonia here in the diagram, if you count the number of leaves in the diagram, easily you can find 7 leaves in each. You find 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. This is one node, another node. Two nodes are shown here. Each node, if we count, there will be 7 leaves present. 7 leaves. So Alstonia, you should consider 7. Here itself you can write 7 leaves at one node. Another example, Nerium. Nerium will have 3 leaves at one node. 3 leaves at one node. So these are the three types of philotaxis. Now just a question related to that. One question I am going to discuss based on the philotaxy. Okay, so let us discuss just 2 questions based on philotaxy. The first question, there are 5 nodes of hibiscus, 3 nodes of guava, 2 nodes of Alstonia. So how many total number of leaves are present? We know each node of hibiscus has one leaf only, one leaf each node. So 5 nodes of hibiscus should be equal to 5 leaves. Guava, each node has 2 leaves. So in guava there are 3 nodes. So therefore each node has 2 leaves. So 3 into 2, that is equal to 6 leaves. So this is in hibiscus and this is in guava. Now the third one in Alstonia, 2 nodes of Alstonia. Each node has 7 leaves. So 2 into 7. So there will be 14 leaves. This is in Alstonia. So altogether, if we total it up, we are going to get 6 plus 5, 11 and 11 and 14. So 11 plus 14, total we are getting 25 leaves. This is one type of question. Another type of question, leaves are given and you have to find out the respective nodes. So 25 leaves of hibiscus. So hibiscus, how many nodes are there? Here the question says number of nodes present. So hibiscus, how many nodes? Each node has one leaf only. So here 25 nodes are present. Now calotropis. Calotropis, each node has 2 leaves. So 20 leaves are given. So there will be 10 nodes here. Alstonia. Whatever is divisible, numbers only you are going to get. Alstonia, 7 leaves in one node. So here how many? 4 nodes will be present. Altogether we have 35 plus 4, total 39 nodes are present. So these are the simple type of questions which we can expect from the philotaxy. So with that, I complete this this session, this video. I hope you enjoyed and you understood also, and you found it very informative. So if you find it informative, please share, subscribe, and encourage me so that I will be able to reach the maximum number of students. Thank you so much. We'll meet in the next video.